I'm here with Danny Abrahall. He is the drummer currently for Drongos for Europe. As the drummer, you're kind of the hidden member of the band, really, because you're in the back. Even though you're a very tall guy, nobody sees that because you're sitting down in front of a drum kit. And I'm wondering, how do you feel, because you are such an animated drummer, you're fun to watch on stage. How do you feel about that kind of hidden?
It depends. Sometimes, obviously, and if anyone denies that they don't get nervous before they go on, doesn't matter how big or small the crowd is. It's if I'm a bit, I don't know, uptight or nervous or I don't know, tired. It's great when the lights aren't on. Yes, you can hide.
Yeah.
But when you want to be seen, and the lights aren't there, you're thinking. And it forces you to be a little bit more outward going and trying to be a bit more, like you say, animated. And sometimes you get criticised for being a bit more animated, sometimes you don't. And you know, I always sort of insist on having a mic because maybe something could go wrong with the kit in between songs, so I have to quickly adjust something. But because a lot of the songs, because we've been playing so long now, a lot of the songs link. And if like my pedals are moving or something's not, or a mic's fell off a drum, and I need to be able to speak to the rest of the band, just something as simple as that, I always prefer to have a mic there, even though I don't do a lot of backing vocals.
Well, you do some though.
I do, yeah, and sometimes I'm there to prompt those that forget. Not naming any names, Tom. But you know, it doesn't forget that often. But now and again, everyone has those brain farts, and you're just like, where did that lyric go?
Oh, wait a minute, I was supposed to be doing and I forgot.
Right, yeah, that's exactly. And then that's, you know, because I always time my songs, you shouldn't, but I always time my songs listening to the vocals. If the vocals aren't on there, sometimes it can be very difficult. So if the vocals are disappearing, as in they've forgotten a line or forgot to come in at the right time, and then I'm there, hopefully, most of the time, I'd like to think, to prompt.
You're keeping the guys, keeping the going.
You know, like the little, on the stage where they have the plays and you've got the guy in the box at the front hiding from the crowd, and he's got the words for all the acts, for the actors. That's the guy on the drums with the mic, type of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, drums are the backbone of a band, and that's honestly when people hear a band, they don't necessarily hear the guitars so much as they hear the beat, the rhythm that's going, and that's what you do. You set that tone.
Yeah, not always the best beat, but yes, some sort of a beat. Whether it's in time, I don't know.
Usually, I think you are.
Hopefully. And
how did you get into drumming?
I'm going to bring the subject up now. I grew up listening to rock through my father, listening to like ELO and AC/DC and all those type of bands, and even some sort of Styx and Supertramp, and then.
God, you're taking me back to my youth.
Yeah, as I was growing up, I discovered Motorhead and stuff like this, and listening to them. And then my eldest cousin, he was a punk. And I used to be walking past their house on the way home from school, and he'd go, Dan, we're playing down the Crown tonight. He says, you coming to see us? And I'm like, Cole, I'm 10. You know, and I had quite a strict upbringing. So I was in bed for 7, 8 o'clock at that sort of age, which is, all kids should be in bed at that time. But it was Colin from GBH. And he's my cousin, and there is the main reason for me doing what I want to do. They did on their Attack by Rats tour in 1982. 82 I think it was, yeah. I got to go on a school night to go and watch them at Bingley Hall in Birmingham. Wow. And little did I know then that the Drongos actually played the same show as Blitz and Brazy Royals, who are here tonight. And it's the first punk show I'd ever been to, and it just fucking hooked me straight away. And I was just like, fuck, I've got to be part of this. And I was just straight away, almost overnight into it, and I just love the music. The politics is the politics. I'm not going to go down that score. I just love the music, I love the look, and I just wanted to be part of it. And then as time went on, realised how easy it was to get in. You know, punks aren't the best musicians in the world, although some are.
Some are, yeah.
But it was easy to do it, and there's a couple of guys that went to the same school and a couple of years younger than me, and they went into a band, and I'd sort of, all my friends from school had fizzled out. The punks and skins that I used to hang around with, they'd all fizzled out and got girlfriends and jobs and all that farty stuff, and I was like, fuck, I've got to conform. In my head I was thinking I've got to do the same thing, and I tried it for probably 3 months, and it was fucking disgustingly really uncomfortable.
You got to be yourself.
I eventually got back.
Yeah.
And I what it was, I went out with a girl, and I used to go home with her on the bus, and then on my way home on the bus, Louis from Rotunda and Mopsy from the Nurks, they'd be on the bus, and they'd started a band called Depth Charge, and they were saying, oh, you should come and fucking join our band, la, la, you'd be great on the drums. And I'd sort of started having a little go on the drums. I'd bought a little kit, and I learnt the bad way by watching TV mirror image, which is why I play left-handed. But
I was wondering that.
Right-handed at everything, watching the telly going, you know, and eventually picked it up to the sort of standard I am now, which isn't the. You know, I think if I played right-handed, I could possibly be a better one. But I've tried lessons, and it doesn't.
Well, it's how you start, because if you start as a left-handed, that's how you've learned, and that's the way you're going to be.
Old dog, new tricks. It's difficult.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Difficult. I've tried over the years, but it just hasn't worked.
Well, you've got the muscle memory from doing it from one way and starting it another way. That's the whole brain
it
goes,
restricts
what?
me in one way, but it's like otherwise it helps me. I don't know. So it's difficult to explain, really. You know, that's how I got into it.
And where do you think you're going to go from here? Do you think Drongos will keep going for a while?
I hope so. I really do hope so.
Yeah, because they've been going, since the 70s, so...
Yeah, I think that's 78, 79 they started. I didn't join then because I'm far too young. And it was 2007 I joined. And it was basically that a year before that, I'd been playing with other bands, and Dek had asked me if I fancied having to go with the Drongos, and I was like, whoa, not worthy. And I was like, and then a year later, we'd reformed our first band, Depth Charge. We'd done a couple of gigs, and we played at the same show, and I was chatting to Mopsy late at night, like 3 o'clock in the morning in the Market Tavern, and it was that night Drongos had played, and apparently it was pretty much going to be their last gig. Now, 12 months previous to that, Dek had asked me if I wanted to play, and I was like, obviously not. And I'm chatting to Mopsy, and I said, they asked me to play last year. And I was chatting, and he went, what the fucking hell are you doing talking to us then? I said, what do you mean? He said, go and fucking join them. I said, I'm not good enough. He said, yeah, fucking la la la. And I thought, so a couple of more pints, and Dek was still there, and I went over, and I said, if you're still up for it, I'll have a go. But obviously that night was supposed to be their last gig, so I didn't know whether he wanted to or not. He said, I'll speak to Tom over the weekend and get in touch. They had my number. Didn't get any news. Monday night, I've got home from work. I'm sat on the sofa after my dinner, just lounging, and my phone's upstairs, and watching Emmerdale or Coronation Street, some soap.
Some weekly soap or daily soap.
Evening. I work in
evening soaps.
Yeah. And my eldest daughter said, your phone's ringing, Dad. I said, go and grab it for us. And so she's ran upstairs, and she brought it down, and she stopped ringing. And then a text came through. I said, what's he say? And she passed it to me, and I looked at it, and it was the message from Dek saying, the drums are set up ready for you. And I was like, and my wife at the time, Caroline, screamed, oh my God! And I was
could see that.
I was just as excited, and I took my scruffs off, and got dressed up, and went down and practiced with them. And it was at the time they'd got a new guitarist as well, and it was Dave Holmes. So that was, I'd seen him around the scene before, never really. I'd always nodded and said hello, but didn't really know him. And the two of us joined on the same time, and it was from there. It's gone. Everybody knows the history of it from there, and I've really fucking enjoyed it. And that band they've kept me alive.
You can tell from seeing you behind the kit and how into it you are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious how much you love playing with Drongos, because you really just... It's hard to describe. If you've never seen this man behind the drum kit, you need to, because he is one of the most enthusiastic, powerful drummers I've watched.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And
Enthusiastic, yes. Powerful sometimes.
All right, sometimes. Maybe some gigs he's not as powerful as others. But your job, you have a very physical job. Do you think, because drummers are usually the athlete of the band, do you think that helps you in your drumming?
It does help, but I think in our band, up until recent months, it's been Dek who's been the athlete.
Yeah.
You've all probably seen him on stage doing his star jumps and all sorts of stuff. He should be a bloody gymnastic instructor.
Yes, I agree with that.
Still trying to keep him down now. He's still fighting. He's still going for it.
Got to pace himself these days.
He'll be back very soon.
Yes.
It's fingers crossed.
We are looking forward to that.
He's got the spirit. He has got the spirit.
He's got the passion and the love, and that's going to get him back playing the guitar.
Yeah. We've had a couple of practices recently, and he's came along about a month ago. We had a rehearsal, and he came in, and he was really struggling, and I think he was like, oh fuck. I think it dawned on him that it's a longer road than he thought.
Yeah.
But then he came last week, and me and Mac were like, what the fuck? It's the improvement in just 4 weeks is just unbelievable. Yeah. Obviously he's not there yet. It's going to take time. He's not the most patient person, but he's going to get there.
Yeah. He just needs to get a little bit of that patience.
And he works, and I think sometimes he pushes himself a little too hard. You know, and but he's doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, we want him back. I think everybody wants to see him back. Yeah.
We really do.
I want to thank you very much for your time. It's starting to rain on us, and I don't want your lovely mohawk to start.
It's wax, not soap.
So you're fine there.
The secret. I can stand in the rain.
You can stand in the rain, but mine will just turn into a frizz. So thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you on stage tonight, as always.
Thank you. Thank you.